Listen, son, to all the sons out there. You can be anything you want to be. Keep God first and love yourself, love your family, and chase your dreams. Welcome to the Listen Son podcast.
All right, everybody. We back. We back mourning a little bit. Heavy hearts. Lost a legend. Today for all of us on this call right now. Hank Aaron, man, that home run king. We just gonna do a moment of silence as in the introduction for him, quick one. Take the time to reminisce and know what he did for us, in sports and as a civil rights activist, contribution too. So, moment of silence for Hank Aaron, real quick, as we start the episode. Thank everybody for that time. Hey man, we got an exciting one with you. Exciting episode here with you guys. Stay on Listen Son. We do heavily love to highlight the stories, man. The people that they laid the found work, man. And here we got a young cat who I was able to meet about 3 years ago, and I know he's really kind of a staple in his community. He does a lot of things to make sure where he came from is different, for the ones behind him that's coming up in some of the same streets and environments that he did. And that's all of our goals. That's what it all should be on this call. But returning, we got my dad right there, Mike Bond Sr. What's up, Pop? You got anything to say?
What's up? Hey, just excited. Q, you're doing big things, man. We're just excited to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Q, it's bro sent over, information about you so we could do a little homework, and just in pre-production, man. And I'm just excited to dive in with you, man, and get to know, brothers from all over the country. You know what I mean? You actually are in a state where, man, I think when I travel about, people say like, man, you from Wisconsin, you from Milwaukee, it's black people there,
right? Yeah.
Black community there, is this that? You from Minnesota? I know you get the same thing. Actually, I get some people confuse the two. You know what I mean? If they not geographically sound, you know what I mean? They don't understand. They think Minnesota is in Wisconsin. They don't know, So but I'm sure you encounter that. So I'm looking forward to, actually a pleasure meeting you, glad to have you with us, and looking forward to, getting to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It should be fun.
Oh yeah.
That's Randy Hogan. That's my brother. Y'all familiar with him. And then the guest, as you guys see, is Q. All right. So
what's up, everybody?
Here we go. So Q, let's start, man. Like I told him, man, we met in 2017, but that's only a small part of your journey. That's not where it started for you. So where did things start for you, athletically wise, or with your passion with the different things you do right now?
Sports have always been a thing since I was a kid. That was things that I tried to use to keep me occupied growing up. I was the only boy in my family. I got an older sister, two younger little sisters, but my mom was the oldest, and I didn't get a chance to really meet my grandma, but my mom took care of all her brothers and sisters. With one of them only being, I had one uncle that was probably 6-7 years older than I was, so but the rest of them all being like 6 aunties, and they all stayed with my mom, so it was just me. So basketball, sports, and things like being at the rec center, you know what I'm saying, Dayton's Bluff Rec Center over on the east side of St. Paul. That's kind of where, that's my stomping grounds. You know what I'm saying? That's where everything I learned today, then it took place right there and on that block. You know what I'm saying? In those gym walls. You know what I'm saying? In those game rooms in the rec. But that's really where I got all my passion from. Then going into high school, basketball, and then partying came all into one, and that's kind of where I'm at where I'm at today. What I got going on.
I got you, man. So definitely, what intrigued me was you was hooping up there at St. Mary's, but it was an article that came out about you, about you definitely were thinking about taking the movement brand, as you see.
I see you.
Is right.
Yeah.
Taking that to the next level. So talk about that too, the movement and things like that.
I guess really like I went to school for marketing because I understood that was kind of the more fun side of the business, you know. And I was on the verge of being a party promoter. That's what I was doing in high school. My very first party was like a $2 party, and it was crazy. And then like me and my homies, we were kind of like, you know, we were the boys around there. You know what I'm saying? And so what we started doing was we just stopped charging people to come to our parties, and we'll have like free parties every weekend. Now looking back at it, that's probably the craziest thing that I ever did was like like let people party for free. Now that I could have been, you know, ahead of my time a long time ago, you know, but it actually, you know, set a foundation for what I'm doing today. So those things with me going to school and to marketing and basketball was, you know, coming to an end. During that time when I met Mike, I was kind of diving into the clothing. You know, this is one of my t-shirts here. Mike representing wearing one of my jumpsuits now. It so happened that it was a clothing manufacturer right down the hill from St. Mary's. So like my entrepreneurship class, that was one of our field trips is when we went down there to the manufacturing spot. And I was already hip to all these things because before I came down to Winona, I was in St. Cloud. And that's where I started doing the t-shirts and stuff like that. So with that whole experience, that's kind of when I just was like, I ain't really have nothing else to do on campus other than basketball, you know. So I had something else to take my mind off of that. It was really close. I was able to build a foundation while I was at school, online, and going back and forth from campus to home on the weekends and selling merchandise. I just started from there. As soon as I graduated, probably a few months before I graduated, my brother he was security guard in the club, and one of the owners ended up selling the club. New owner came in and he was able to get his own night. And that's when I came in like, hey, bro, you know, this is what I do. He was down to go 50-50 with me, split, you know what I'm saying? Split everything he had going on with me. And rest history, man. I'm about 3-4 years in now.
Yeah. Yeah. When I sent my dad what they called the homework, you know, he definitely said, you know, he should have been ahead of his time too, because he said y'all definitely had some similar blueprints.
Yeah. You
know, I know he over there waiting to hop in. So go ahead, Pop.
Hugh, how you doing, man? Welcome to the Listen Son podcast. Yeah, you remind me of myself, man. Some years ago. It wasn't that long ago, but yeah, man. I had my hands into a lot of stuff, man. I was selling t-shirts, sweatshirts, at big time factories here, man. I had family that worked at some of the big time factories, Master Lot, Delco, Briggs and Stratton. And we were doing well, man, doing well. Came up with a brand, got the license, and just was getting ready to, you brought up the club. I used to throw a lot of parties, man, and was getting ready to open up a club, trying to buy a storefront, get into real estate. Man, I was doing all of that, but I knew I had a reason for that, you know, trying to bring others along. So I'm trying to see where you were or where you at with all these different ideas you have.
Well, right now I would say, on top of that, I've just dove into real estate. I bought my first investment property in September.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Masters too, man.
I just graduated with my master's a few weeks ago in education.
There you go.
Congratulations,
brother.
And I also manage a few music artists as well. So kind of like really since high school, it's kind of something I knew I always wanted to do. Pretty much manifested, but hold on, wait, I forgot. What was the question, man?
No, I'm just saying, what was the whole idea behind into your venture, your business, your ventures, you know?
Oh, well, yeah, see, so like I was saying, yeah, in high school, I kind of knew this is always something that I wanted to do. I always knew that I wanted to be a businessman, whether if it was working for somebody else or working on my own. And I just seen how much easier it is to work on your own, and able to make investments in like the real estate. I'm still learning, but it's something that I'm really going to try to dive into. I mean, I want to be able to own the club that I'm working at now. Really is, I mean, I don't know. It's just all full form. Like everything that I'm doing, I love to do. Like if it wasn't business, I would still be doing these things. I would be going out clubbing. I would be shopping all the time. You know what I'm saying? Listening to music is something that I have to do. You know what I'm saying? To get through the day. You feel me? So like it's the move. When I say this a lifestyle brand, that's what I mean. It's a lifestyle brand. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I'm doing, this is something that everybody does on a day in, day out. You feel me? Whether it's music, basketball, sports, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And that's really where I grew to come to it was that, we're just gonna push this lifestyle. You know what I mean? That it's free flowing. You know what I'm saying? This is never ended. That's kind of what the movement is about. When we started this back in 9th grade, you know what I'm saying? It was really to differentiate ourselves from all the other nonsense that was going on in our neighborhood. Like, even though all the nonsense that was going on with some of my day one friends, I had to, you know what I'm saying, separate myself from what was going on because, you know what I'm saying, I had a different mindset. So the movement was to, you know what I'm saying, basically we all got those obstacles, right? We all got these challenges, but it's about just elevate and keep going up, you know what I'm saying? Moving in the right direction to get to where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm doing this, that's all I'm taking in, you know what I'm saying? Right now I'm making the connections just to try to get things to the next level. I've taken off time with like the clothing to get things right because I like just doing my homework. People I'm working with here, I see that they're working with people in foreign countries, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm cutting out the middleman and I got to figure out how to, you know what I'm saying, deal with these foreign countries. It's just me, you know what I'm saying? I don't have nobody else. I do everything on my own. Even when I like mentioning that I came in doing some of these things with my brother, I ended up having to cut him off from the things that we had going on business-wise. So, I hope I was able to answer your question.
Oh, definitely you did.
Hey Q, let me kind of piggyback off of some things that you said, man. You mentioned, man, even your brother, friends or people that was day one from back in the day or whatever.
Yeah.
You had to cut them off. Like, I work with a lot of youth, man. And can you kind of touch on that? What was it that clicked in your mind? Like, man, you know what? In order to get here, I gotta shed some weight. You know what I mean? So to speak. I gotta, what was it that made you realize that I gotta do something different? I can't have, this negative energy around me.
So what it was for me was it was a combination of some things, really. People don't give our where we're from, Minnesota, the Twin Cities. They try to downplay it a lot, but it's just like any other place, And I was growing up around a time where the gang violence was real.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? It was real, and when I was probably like 11, 12, 13 around this time, witnessing all these things. And I've seen a lot, witnessed a lot at those age, shootouts, things like that, and things turning out like my brother, not my brother, I would say my stepbrother. So I don't want to get it confused with my story. My stepbrother was the first one to be killed over, everything that was going on back then. That was kind of you know what I'm saying, a clicker for me. Then just having kind of growing up, I was really close with my mom, but even during these times, me and my mom wasn't as really close because she was battling her own things she had going on. So I was really I felt like I was alone on my own at these times, and if I wasn't with my friends who I consider my brothers. And with the passing of my brother, not too long after that, passing of a friend that probably was a 7th, 8th grader who I went to elementary school with. I know his brothers that's my age, you know what I'm saying? Me trying to like make my mom happy because of the things that she got going on at home. And then really the mentors that I had 2 key mentors around these times, my basketball coach and one of my school counselors that kind of like showed me, as I guess you could say, as men, you know, what else is out there for us, you know what I'm saying? Other than sports, I guess you could say. Well, my basketball coach at that time, he was a good basketball coach, but he more so taught us how to be men and take care of ourselves and responsibility. I know the 3 things that he taught us the most was, well, that he pushed on us the most was dedication, determination, and it's the 3 Ds. I don't know. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I know it's dedication, determination, and it's another one.
Probably desire.
What was that?
I think it's desire.
I know it ain't desire. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna come back to it. But yeah, and it was just kind of those things of them seeing like what college degree is gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? They're working in the schools with me. Both of them worked at our schools. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that I can lean on, somebody I feel I can go talk to, somebody that's gonna vouch for me, somebody, you know what I'm saying? And growing up now, I realize how important that those things really were for a kid when I couldn't go talk to my mom without being yelled at. You know what I'm saying?
And that's really sometimes the I mean, we got to look at it and face reality, especially in these days, the importance of having Black male educators. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because, you know, who else better to learn from for a little Black boy to learn from than a Black man, you know? So I like what you're doing, man.
Yeah,
I like what you're doing.
It's discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline. Yep. That's the other one.
Yeah.
Those 3 days stick with me today. Those 3 days stick with me today for sure.
Let's highlight one of the things you did do, you know, that wasn't too long ago, man. Hopefully everybody can see this right here, man. What was this like, man?
Peace to all of those who ain't rolling with us. Peace to those who rather help us than take from us. You know this game start getting weird when you wanna rise. Y'all can show y'all fear, but I'ma ride for mine. We used to the biggest fist of the American dream. We the babies that found out this place ain't what it seemed. We the new regime. Yes, we the products of slavery. Found out that they were kings. Deep down inside, but due to the circumstances, they had to do what they had to do to survive. It's sad to say these niggas died over pride. It's sad to say they telling lies online. As time goes by, to 9 for an eye. I'm on my 10 toes and the fam down the ride. Right hand of God, I'm rolling with the punches. Everything is for the fam. If you ain't with us, run it. Oh, shit different.
I know how the police is over there and just how things can go. But that was my first time doing planning something for the community, and it kind of like motivated me to just want to do so much more. Like just the feedback we got from the community, the way it made me feel, like just like that organic feeling, like, dang, man, because when I was a kid, we weren't getting too much of giveaways, give backs, you know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact they're not really doing it now. And from where I'm from, they really not doing it now. So
yeah,
the feeling was crazy. That's
you got the mask on, but you can see that smile underneath there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What's up?
So what other events do you guys do in the community? I see a couple other ones, turkey.
We did the turkey drive for Thanksgiving. We ended up doing one for Christmas right after that, where we gave away turkeys, free pizzas, and a toy drive. And that one was just as crazy, man. Really didn't expect to turn out like that. You had a bunch of families out there. We probably ran through things probably within 2 hours. We probably had a handful of families that didn't get to get anything, but like everybody was satisfied. You know what I'm saying? We had Malik Beasley come through.
Play for the Timberwolves, right?
Play for the Timberwolves, yep. The Sheriffs came through and everything. It was all love, you know, and we're trying to we're going to start a nonprofit for the community and start just trying to funnel all these events and things for the community, you know. Since that's what I do, I know I got the resources now to really get anybody to come out here and be a part of this, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, just donating a couple dollars, or a DJ coming DJing for free, or, you know what I'm saying, even the artist pulling up if the time, you know what I'm saying, if they're here in the city, it wouldn't be hard for me to get somebody to get this act to pull up and show love to the community, you know what I'm saying? And I know Minneapolis, they get a lot of love like that. I'm not sure if y'all are aware, but Minneapolis, they get a lot of love with people pulling up to the schools in Minneapolis on the north side and things like that. We don't get that love over here on the east side of St. Paul. So I'm trying to change that.
What is the divide there? What differs that causes that?
We organically have a divide where, like, St. Paul versus Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. Like, this has been a thing since, like, I was in high school. It's been a thing. Like, when I was in high school, I would be like, I ain't going to Minneapolis. There's nothing over there for me. I don't need to cross the river. I don't need to go cross that bridge for nothing. Everything I need is in St. Paul. You know what I'm saying? Unless I got to go to the mall or something like that, you know? But it's always been that stigma. It still is now. Like, our Facebook community, if, like, you'll scroll at least once a day, you're going to see something like St. Paul did, St. Paul that, or people from Minneapolis this, people from Minneapolis that. I don't know where it came from, but it's embedded in our culture for some reason. And
so this is just like, I mean, like in-state rivalry. That's like, not really a racial thing or a class thing. It's just y'all over there in Minneapolis, and then we over here in St. Paul.
You know what I'm saying? But Minneapolis is kind of more busting. They got the nightlife, all the stadiums and all that. Right. St. Paul used to be busting, but, like, you do your history, they had the Rondo thing where they put the highway in the middle of the freeway. The highway in the middle of the neighborhood. So it displaced all the Black communities and things like that. So St. Paul kind of is divided itself. You know what I'm saying? So, like, Minneapolis, they got their own little divide, but St. Paul so divided because of that and the different sides of town.
So that's where the Celebration Rondo days come from. You know, me being from Milwaukee. Okay, got it.
The Rondo days come from. You have that whole area right there, Dale and Lexington. That's all the Rondo neighborhood.
Got you.
And before the freeway was there was all one big neighborhood for the Black community. You know what I'm saying? And now crazy, I just seen something just the other day is that they're gonna start doing reparations for Black families that was affected by Rondo and the descendants of slaves from St. Paul.
Wow. So let's kind of get back, go back a little bit too, because everybody always proud of where they come from. You know, it don't matter north side of Milwaukee, north side of Minneapolis, east side of St. Paul. Everybody proud where they come from. But what happens is everybody uses where they come from to, displace or downgrade what the other parts are. You know what I mean? And my hood better, what I do, what we got going on is better than what y'all got going on.
Right.
Instead of just embracing that we all got a struggle that we coming from,
so
we all should be trying to make it better. And I see that's what you're doing. And I like that you acknowledge the fact that, it is something that's has been embedded for years. But are you trying to bridge that gap?
I want to. Good. I work with a lot of people. Well, really everybody I work with in the nightclub industry is from Minneapolis, except for probably one group of individuals. Was really two of them. They're brothers. They're probably the only other ones from St. Paul, to be honest. But I try to use a lot of those guys I know from Minneapolis to aid in on some of my events when I can, even with doing some like events together where we're just like collaborating. I try to do a lot like that. But really, like, as far as like bringing the communities together, not something that I have really ventured into. Really, because of the simple fact, I'm trying to venture into my own community, something that I'm trying to do right now.
Yep.
With trying to like we used to have things like the Taste of Minnesota, like Rondo days where like everybody can come together, and you know what I'm saying, the city's so watered down now that they don't really. That's why I'm so hesitant to try to do a lot of things, because I know how the city is here. You know what I'm saying, here in St. Paul, Ramsey County. but like I'm trying to grow to get somewhere that we can bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? And really, it's about however it's gonna be set up. You know what I'm saying? Something like musically, where people can come out and just enjoy themselves and socialize and not have to worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feels safe. That's one of the big issues here is like, making sure everybody feels safe when you combining those two crowds.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for taking us through that, man. And who I feel like you're able to do the things that you do because I feel like you said, you had good mentors. Both of mine are, a couple of mine are on this call right now, Randy and my dad. So who were the dudes that really gave you a lot of your listen, son moments that sat you down and just really helped you understand the big picture? You said your coach already, but who were some of the other ones?
I ain't gonna lie, man. Most of it was probably just learning experiences. If I wasn't like having like decent talks with my mom, you know what I'm saying? But it was, like I said, at that time, it was kind of hard. My mom would see me do some things around that time and probably wouldn't really know how to respond because I'm her only boy, but I like handle my business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So really, if it wasn't for those specific coaches at that time, because like I teach middle school. So a lot of stuff that I'm encountering is in middle school. And I teach my students that like there's gonna be the most like life-changing events is gonna happen at this time. Like the most craziest things you're gonna experience at this time. I've lived that, you know what I'm saying? After those moments, going into high school, it was pretty much I lived and I learned.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like getting in trouble with these guys and doing this and that and catching a break, that's the only chance I needed. You know what I'm saying? I was in a situation where we just got pulled over. I'm like at the corner of my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm like right at the corner of my house, we got pulled over. And like I said, we were partying back in these days and a situation happened. We all got to get out the car and this guy says that this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm at the corner of my house. I'm supposed to be at home. I could be on my way downtown, but that cop gave us a break. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was able, my high school coach was a police officer at the time. So I was able to name drop a little bit. And really things like that was like, yeah, can't be really moving like this with certain individuals, you know what I'm saying? Or just having, you know what I'm saying, seeing other things happen to other people. My real day one homies, you know what I'm saying, that I really, really grew up with, they all in the feds right now. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that I had to separate myself from an early age. If I would have never did that, I've probably been up the road right now, you know what I'm saying? But I still talk to those guys every day, day in, day out. Yeah. We never like stopped messing with each other. Y'all just got this going on, you feel me? When y'all ain't on that type of time, y'all know y'all can call me. Y'all know where I stay, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty really much what it was. Like, you know, like even the small things of being shot at. And I ain't got no gun. You know what I'm saying? I ain't out here like that and being shot at. Okay, now I know I need to move like this. I don't need to be. That's why I know last 15, 30 minutes of a club are what I'm sticking around for. Even though I know who I am, I ain't, but bullets ain't got no name. Yeah. I had bullets past ears of hearing what that sound like. Being downtown, same thing. So, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things that I've endured is just really living and learning. And just using this right here, you feel me?
Yeah. I think that's something you talk about a lot, you know?
Yeah, Q. Man, you know, I'm listening to you, brother. And like I told my son, man, it's a lot of similarities, you know. I didn't have a dad growing up. Lost my mom when I was 6 years old. Mm. But you know, like you said, basketball coaches, teachers, uncles. I was blessed with some uncles and cousins. And they you know, God doesn't make mistakes, man. And people is put in your lives for different reasons. And, you know, and what you got to do is you got to know that regardless to what's going on and sometimes you sit back and you be like, why is all this happening to me? And why I don't have a pops, or why my circumstances is not like, my buddies or whatever. God is really, really protecting you, giving you favor. You know what I mean? So what you got to do, you got to turn that around and do the things that you're doing right now, and turn it into positives. And then when you get in position, you give back what you are doing. You know what I'm saying? So the things that you went through was learning lessons, I call it, So when I had my kids, I was able to teach them and try to instill in them things hand on. I knew it was going to be teachers and mentors and coaches and everything also doing the same thing. But I wanted to make sure I was there. Yeah. I was there, So to try to, not saying that that's going to stop any things that's happening out there in the streets.
Right.
But at the same time, they'll hear my voice and think twice about, negativity, try to focus more on the positive things. One other thing, man, we keep talking about the movement. I want you to break it down. TMLB stands for what?
The Movement Lifestyle Brand.
Okay. And how did you come up with that?
Well, for the longest, it was just the movement.
Right.
And then once I graduated, because as I'm in school, I was building my business.
Right.
So everything I'm learning marketing, I'm applying it as I go. I'm applying as I go. So I'm really, the lifestyle brand term, it came and I understood what it meant. And I was like, okay, this, everything full circle. So I just tagged that on there like that, the Movement Lifestyle Brand,
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Just three, to have you, my sons on here, man, that shows that there is some positive going on in the world, more so than, how did you feel? I'm pretty sure you felt like the most of us, but I'm talking about by you being from St. Paul. I know it's some months ago, but we still have to, talk about it here and there with the George Floyd incident.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy when you sit there and watch it. You know what I'm saying? It was hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't. I don't know how to put it. We experienced that.
Right.
We experienced. Right. I fought the police before. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We've had to fight the police before. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't nothing out the norm that we've experienced growing up, getting into it with the police. Them strong arming people for no reason. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that. We see that all the time. That's why I'm on here saying the police on the east side. I don't know, I don't really like doing stuff on the east side because of just how, you know what I'm saying? Just how I grew up. You see, the police they probably wouldn't even be able to put a name to my face. You know what I'm saying? From when I was a kid, but those experience from when we was kids. Now, what I'm doing, I really am hesitant to do things in my community because of them. You know what I'm saying? So, that right there should go to.
So more the police presence more than the actual community.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I know if we call the police, and be like, yo, we're doing this, or then, you know what I'm saying? But we also, you know what I'm saying? I got some friends who would probably want to come to these events where probably wouldn't be best for them to come with the police here. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably turn the event into, you know what I'm saying? So it's just and even with me doing the music, I manage music artists that's from the east side that are known for, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in the middle of that, but going on to it, it was really tough for the really both of the cities. When we were saying that the cities are divided, that was probably the only time we ever really seen the cities come together. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good thing because I was out there for however long it was going on. I was out there.
Yeah.
I would get off work and I'm like, I'm gonna grab my camera. I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? And it was tough during the time, even being out there, like to experience this, you know. And it's crazy because like I'm big on like history and history repeating itself and watching documentaries on things that happen like LA riots or like things like that. Like I like if I'm sitting at home watching thing, I'm watching stuff about things like that, and I'm like, I'm re-seeing all this over again. And it's not gonna be this is my first time living it. This ain't gonna be the last time that something like this happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like with being here, it was just to be able to experience it was just it was crazy. It was crazy.
Well, the reason I asked you that, man, is you know, as being a Black man myself and being, you know, from a different state, it still, you know, affected me really bad. But I was just wondering, you know, you're from there, so I just wanted to get your opinion on that, you know, as a Black man also, you know. So
appreciate that.
Hey, keep up the good work. Yeah, keep up the good work, man. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate it for sure.
So, you know, before we transition to kind of our hot topics, you know, quickly, what are some things that anybody that's trying to get into being an entrepreneur or being somebody that's passionate just about, you know, their brand or the way they live, what do they need to know going into this?
It ain't easy. It ain't easy at all. Depending on what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? You find your niche. It's really about just going all in and not being scared. I was scared for the longest. And then when I wasn't scared, you know, I wasn't afraid to put my money up anymore. And I wasn't afraid to lose any money anymore neither. Even with losing money, I was still able to gain a lot. And that's hard. It's even hard. It's still hard for me to like wrap my mind around that now. Like I've got to spend so much to just, you know what I'm saying, gain awareness, but it's all for good purposes. So once people like are able to really wrap their head around that and like what it means to run a business and sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't gonna happen overnight. I didn't see no profit doing the clothing thing probably until like a year ago. That's because I would make merch and really give it away. I would sell half of it and just want to break even.
Yeah.
And give it all the rest away to like a school or whoever. I wouldn't care as long as somebody was wearing it and seeing my product. But that's what I was doing for those couple of years, was just trying to build awareness. Whereas to now, I got a little solid foundation and like I'm just taking my time really as far as what makes most sense for my business strategy now, as far as for me to keep making money. You know what I'm saying? But that's really all it is that you gotta have that in you. You gotta have it in you. You gotta want it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it ain't no different from wanting to graduate high school, wanting to graduate college, wanting to do anything really. If that's what you're gonna do, you gotta give it your all. You ain't gonna be able to half-ass it unless it's a half-ass job that you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. I feel that, man. So let's give them your social media stuff, the website to where they could, you know, support
the Movement Lifestyle brand, man. Y'all can follow us on Instagram, the Movement LSB. You can find us on Facebook, the same. Even the website is the same, themovementlsb.com. My personal socials, Big Boss Up Q. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. Yeah, man. Tap in with us, man. We're going global, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap in.
Good. So yesterday we had this interview, fellas, with Shaq and Donovan Mitchell, and we want to kind of, you know, have one of our topics that we kind of talk about today is, you know, when you get these athletes, you know, you get athletes and then you get the commentators who are important, the analysts and commentators that are in the role that they are in important, because they can highlight and, you know, they can speak on what it means to become and be in that position that, you know, that these guys are in now. So I think they do have an important role. But lately, a lot of the athletes been feeling like they've been using their platform to bring them down and talk about their game. So we got an interview between Shaq and Donovan Mitchell. We're gonna watch it with the viewers and we're gonna talk about, you know, what we feel. But here we go.
Father, this is Shaq. I said tonight that you are one of my favorite players, but you don't have what it takes to get to the next level. I said it on purpose. I wanted you to hear it. What do you have to say about that?
All right. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I wanted you to hear it.
I've been hearing, Shaq, I've been hearing that since my rookie year. You know, I'm just going to get better and do what I do.
Good.
At the end of the day.
Well, that's what I wanted you to hear you say.
Yes,
Love
sir.
your game, brother. Keep it up.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think, in spite of what our candid conversation, you guys were in the top 5.
That was awkward, but y'all want to go and dive into it first, man. First off, do you feel like the commentators and analysts be doing a little bit too much, or they doing their job, or, what do you think? The athletes are being sensitive? What do we got here?
And that clip, I don't think Shaq did too much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but he kind of wild for telling them, like, yeah, you're one of my favorite players, but you ain't got what it takes. That's kind of wild on TV. But I think some of them be reaching, maybe a little bit just to get a reaction, like try to get a reaction, like for the numbers or the go by or whatever they're doing it for. Sometimes it do be a little bit outlandish, like you're doing too much.
Gotcha.
But the players do be sensitive. Some players are sensitive, you know what I'm saying? Some of them should just use it like Donovan Mitchell, like, all right, now for the next game, I'm going to come out and brush off. You know what I'm saying?
He definitely, you can tell, he like, all right, what?
Yeah, the next game, I'm okay, yeah, all right.
Pop, what you think? Because you've been around, you didn't see the evolution of all the athletes and the commentators and analysts. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it, I would hope that it'd be a motivational thing where Donovan be like, okay, I'm just going to step it up. In that case, in that clip, I don't feel that it was too much, but I have seen other situations where I thought that was a little too much, and now, we got to understand since this, we're getting more knowledge on our mental health issues, like, similar to what Kyrie is going through and a few other players. Okay, now when they criticize Kyrie, I just think that's too much, man, because we don't know what's going on with Kyrie. You know what I mean? And when you start talking about leaving the money on the table and if you don't want to play, getting money back and things like that, I just think that was that comment I think was a little too harsh because we really don't know what he's going through. Right. We see when he come on the court, he came back the other night like he ain't missed a beat. You know what I mean? So he can play.
Collin Sexton just had a great night.
Right.
Yeah, he just had a great night. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what it was. He just had a great night and it overshadowed that. But I'm telling you now, the man can play, but sometime in certain cases, we don't know what the players, because they are individuals as well. We don't know what they're dealing with off the court.
So with them criticizing, like, okay, it was cool to criticize James Harden for what he was out here doing. He was wilding. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody want to take some mental, personal time. Like, y'all can't be down on people for that because y'all feel like y'all got a job to do.
Right. Absolutely. And everybody deal with things differently, and he came back and said he has some stuff at home that's going on. So, we don't know what's going on, but you need to, find out first before you start criticizing the player, in certain situations, like you just said, a little different because Harden, he was clubbing, he was doing this, he was all over the place. Yeah. Now that's that not wearing a mask, these are things that, okay, I understand that. But sometimes, son, to answer your question, it can be, it depends on the circumstances. It can be a little too much.
Yeah. So we're not saying that the analysts can't do their job or that they can't, critique the players like they would critique any other player. It's just sometimes considering what mental health factors and considering the delivery.
The delivery. Yeah. Got it. You're a coach and you got players. You tell me what you think.
No, that's true. I mean, first off, it's relationship based. I don't know. I think the way Donovan responded, I think him and Shaq do have a good relationship because he didn't kind of get out of bounds. It's like he knew Shaq and he knew where he was coming from, but he was like, I'm not finna get into this argument with Shaq. It's Shaq, but I think he's wrong on this. Right. So to answer the question, I think it's the relationship you develop with these players off the teams that gets you that mutual respect to where you can come at them about, not playing good, not being a good leader, not representing right, to where they gonna hear you, or they gonna respect your opinion. But when you ain't got that relationship, it's just like anything else. Somebody gonna be looking at you like, dog, who is you to be talking about what I'm doing? Like, who are you?
So,
You know what I mean?
so the interview, and I'm pretty sure you can pull that up. The interview when Barkley was talking to Durant.
Okay, yeah.
So was that a little too much, or what was that? You know, how you feel about that one?
Well, that one was just like, again, this relationship. You know, you got to really question how much Barkley really got a relationship with Durant, and the things he said in the past. You had to know Durant was taking log of that. He was taking note of that. And then you're gonna try to, have a buddy moment with me here on TNT. Nah, dog, it ain't that. I'm back. Philly's good. You're gonna see what I'm doing. You're gonna see how I'm damaging, beat my opponents, and I ain't got to give you nothing extra.
Okay.
I don't think that night Barkley was doing nothing extra. I just think Durant don't mess with him.
I agree. Yeah,
they be on their tops. Durant and his brother, they don't be going. Right.
But you know what? I don't want to see the game get to that point where the analysts and players are not getting along, or I don't want to see, I don't know if this really was Harden's motivation, but you get a young black coach, your superstar don't want to play for him, and I don't want to see the game go like that. I do want to see us working together in the industry where it's hard enough to get highlighted as black men in this profession as players, coaches, GMs, owners. We need each other to tell that narrative, to tell that story. So I don't want to see it go there, but I know sometimes, man, you just gotta call out a hater, or you gotta ignore something when they in that lane. It is. Yeah. So, hey, man, get behind the movement. Get up with Q, man. If y'all haven't, he shared his social media. We're gonna put it on the screen. This is a family, man. So we definitely rock with the movement. Keep coming back for the Listen Son podcast episodes, man. Like, subscribe, share this one. This is a St. Paul and Milwaukee collaboration right here. So ain't no reason why we shouldn't have two states watching this episode and sharing it with our youth. Or some people that, man, they misguided out here. Q gave a lot of gems for these young men in this little 50 minutes of ways, man, just to overcome your situation, see a better future for yourself, and go get it. So that's what I respect, and things like that. So Q, if you could end the episode how we always do it, man. I know I didn't prepare you for this, so this bad on my part in pre-production. just say, listen, son, man, and just give some knowledge to these dudes. If they got this far, we always want to leave them with something. So give them some knowledge of what they should be doing or how you think they should be moving.
So I got to start with listen, son.
There you go. Yeah, yes, sir.
Listen, son, you feel me? You set your goals. You know what I'm saying? You make a plan. And you see it through. That's something that I always tell people. People see all the things that I've accomplished, and they always ask, "How was you able to do this?" Or like, "What was this like?" Or like, "How was you able to get through it?" You know what I'm saying? And I tell them, like, man, I buckled down. You know what I'm saying? I made a plan. I set some goals, and I seen them through. You know what I'm saying? Those, like, as simple as graduating my grad school. I set myself 3 goals for that. You know what I'm saying? By this time, I need to have this much done. By this time, I need to be here. And by 28, and honestly, it still took me an extra like 6 months, but I was still on track. You know what I'm saying? I still had the year to finish. You know what I'm saying? I was just expecting myself to be done over the summer. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's about having that tunnel vision and then just seeing it through. You're going to have a lot of distractions, a lot of things that you're going to want to do that you're used to doing all day. Like this TV right here, I sit all day. And I'm be like, I should probably be doing something else. You know what I'm saying? And that's having that tunnel vision and seeing it through. You know what I'm saying? And even just simple as like, let me put this game down for 45 minutes and do something productive, something that I need to be doing. There's small things like that that's going to get us to where we need to go.
Thanks once again, my fraternity and sorority of listeners of Listen Son podcast. Please, women and men, please like, subscribe, and share. Continue to support our goals to connect untold special real life stories.